Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today the episode is gonna be on, you guessed it, the DJI Smart Controller. This is the Smart Controller, the first one, not the Pro one that goes with the Mavic 3, but this one actually goes with a whole range of drones, but I'm mainly gonna use this with my Mavic 2 Pro. And I also have a Mavic 2 Enterprise that it works with. Nevertheless, even if I sell all my drones right now, I'm still gonna keep the smart controller because I will be completely honest with you. Once you go smart controller, you never wanna go back to the regular one. And let me get back to my office and I'll explain exactly why. Okay, so let me show you the smart controller. Its design, it's actually very well designed. You have the screen, which is very bright, even on the brightest of days. The sticks are removed and they are actually hidden right here in the back. The antennas do fold this easily, up and down like this. Here you have HDMI out if you want to connect external screen. You have your SD card and you have your USB-A out. Not quite sure why you need USB-A out. On the bottom you have your USB-C to charge the controller. I went to charge it and it did take me a couple hours to charge it, and because it's used, it charged up to only 99%. Didn't go beyond that. To check the charge, press this button once and it's going to show you how many bars you have. 4 bars means 75% or more. To turn the controller on, and let me actually fold the antennas. You turn it on the same way you turn on the regular Mavic controller. Once you turn the remote on, as you can see, the screen is very bright. You have your basic menu. If you swipe down like on any smart controller, you can hook up to Wi-Fi. You can adjust brightness. Actually here, let me adjust it to a little bit less because I'm indoors right now. You can adjust the volume, and it initially takes you to the drone menu. Now here's what I like, and let me show you this. It ultimately can be your only remote for all of your drones. In the menu you have this option right here, aircraft management. And right here I have just three of my drones right now. I have my Mavic 2 Pro, which I mainly use, and I call it Slavic Ace Mavic. The other Mavic 2 Pro that I just bought together with this remote, it was already named Sky, and I don't remember the rest. And I also added my Mavic 2 Enterprise to it. So basically, when you're ready to fly, you go into aircraft management, you pick the drone you want to fly with, but prior to that, make sure to power the drone on, and it will automatically connect to it. And here's a cool thing right here. If you choose add a drone, here are the drones you can add with this remote. And I thought the Mini 2 was also among these, but apparently this is an old version of the firmware. The previous owner did tell me not to upgrade it because it will impede the functions. So since I don't have a Mini 2 right now, I'm not going to upgrade it. But I mainly use this for my Mavic 2 Pro, and I may get in the future the Mavic 2 Zoom again because I just sold mine to Ukrainian army. And basically pick either Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 2 Zoom, or Mavic 2 or the Phantom 4 Pro. You can also do the Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual, which is not that great for the heat, for the thermal drone. And like I did, you can do the Mavic 2 Enterprise Universal Edition, which is the Zoom edition. To get out, just press this button right here, and it goes back. And there you go, back in the menu. So once your drone is connected, you just hit go and you are ready to fly. Another good feature of this remote is it automatically switches between the necessary app that you need to use. So if I choose the Mavic 2 Pro, it will turn on DJI Go 4. If I decide to choose my Mavic 2 Enterprise, and all my aircraft is already linked, so I can just basically use one remote for 3 of my drones at the same time. So if I choose the Mavic 2 Enterprise, it will automatically restart the remote and launch the DJI Pilot app. One thing I have to tell you as a pilot of a drone is the DJI Pilot app on the smart remote looks many times better than on any other device, because I flew mine with my Apple iPhone, I flew with the Mini 4 and Mini 4 iPad. So far on the smart remote, it looks a ton better than on anything else, because it's as if this remote was made for the DJI Pilot app. Can't say anything bad about this remote. Even the bulkiness of it doesn't pose an issue, because again, the sticks are removable. Let me show you how. And actually, first I'm going to turn off the remote. So same as turning it on, and it's powered down. Sticks are removable just as on any other DJI remote, but they're a little bit different sticks, and I don't have any spare ones, so I may need to order myself some. When flying around, I did not do today. I did decide to fly around, recorded some ducks, recorded some nature, but when flying around with this remote, you actually have the ability to record the screen, and you fortunately do not need any third-party app. That was my largest question, and I'll show you how it's done. It's done very easily. So to record the screen, you actually press and hold the back button, and it will bring up on the screen itself the menu of different functions of different buttons. And to record the screen, you press and hold the back button, and actually press and hold press the record button. It will engage the screen recording, and the screen recording will automatically be saved either to the memory of the smart remote itself or to your micro SD card. Makes it very convenient. The quality of the recording is very good, and it actually asks you when you put the micro SD card if you want to keep the primary memory as the remote memory, which is only 16 gigs, or do you want to use the micro SD card. Make sure, as with all your aircraft, as with all your drones, same with the remote, to have the latest possible micro SD card, because as I found out the hard way yesterday, if I try to record on actually my Mavic Air 4K 30 frames per second on a micro SD card that's not up to par, that writes less than 150 megabits per second, the footage doesn't come out at all. It happened. I was recording 4K at 30 frames per second. The SD card I had in the drone was able to write only 4K 17 frames per second. So it was very jittery. And I had to basically throw that footage away because it did not work. I asked one of my buddies how many full Mavic 2 batteries this remote will last. And because I told him, I said I have the Mavic, I have the DJI Smart Remote, and I have the regular remote as a backup in case this one dies. And the answer I got was it should last full 4 to 5 batteries. He actually had it as high as I think 8 batteries sometimes. So should not worry about your remote dying on you unless you're gonna be using a ton of batteries and making a lot of flights. But again, always keep an eye on the battery gauge. It's located conveniently as on every other remote in the top right hand corner, and you know exactly how much charge you have. Keep an eye on the lights. The lights on the remote will tell you if your charge is getting low. But keep in mind, charging the remote does take a while. I was using a 25-watt charger, and it took me longer than 2 hours to charge it. Other than that, I guarantee you, once you use the Mavic, the DJI Smart Remote, I want to call it Mavic for some reason, the DJI Smart Remote, you will not want to go back because the picture on it is so crisp. You can easily adjust the brightness. I usually fly with the iPhone 11 Pro. iPhone 11 Pro doesn't have the brightness even close as high. So it's a fantastic thing to have. Yes, it's way overpriced in my mind. $800, you can usually get them for used. Brand new ones, I think right now $1,000, and they're not gonna go any lower in price because they are in demand. But again, once you go the DJI Smart Remote controller direction, you don't want to go back to anything that you had before that. That's how good it is. Would I recommend it to anybody? Absolutely. How did I get hooked on it? Well, I told you the story. The guys here in the local command, they bought themselves a Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced, which automatically came with a smart controller. And they told me, they said, here you go, turn it on, activate it, play around. And from the first moment I turned on the smart controller, I knew that I myself had to have one. And I just happened to get one for a really good deal. I basically got it for free because I bought a Mavic 2 Pro with the smart controller. The whole thing cost me $1,500, as you know, and 3 batteries and the case. So as you know, the Mavic 2 Pro costs $1,600 with 1 battery, brand new. This one was in really good shape. I got 3 batteries, I got the case, and then I just ordered myself a separate regular remote controller for the Mavic 2 Pro, which cost me about $80. So basically I got the smart controller for free, and I'm definitely going to keep it, and I don't want to use a regular controller anymore. So if you are facing a choice of whether or not to get a smart controller, get it. It's that good. I kid you not. You will not want to go back to a regular controller once you have this. Plus, the best part of it, frees up your phone. So if, in case somebody calls you, you don't have any more of those annoying phone calls where you have to interrupt your flight, answer your phone, and then go back to your flight. No, it's independent of your phone. So no more accepting phone calls while you're flying. And that's a really, really good feature to have. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.